Exodus chapter 3. Moses at the burning bush. God comes to Moses and gives him a message. Verse 1. Now Moses was tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, and the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the back of the desert, and came to Horeb, the mountain of God. So that first verse just shows how humble of a life that Moses is living. You could say it's kind of boring. He doesn't even have his own flock of sheep. He tends his father-in-law's flock of sheep, ever since he fled to Midian. God still has a plan for his life though. Verses 2 and 3. And the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire from the midst of a bush. So he looked, and behold, the bush was burning with fire, but the bush was not consumed. And Moses said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight, why the bush does not burn. Moses doesn't know yet, but that was a sign from God. And it's funny because the first thing that strikes him is that the bush isn't being consumed by the fire, not that the fact that a random bush is on fire. Verses 4 through 6. So when the Lord saw that he turned aside to look, God called to him from the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here I am. Then he said, Do not draw near this place. Take your sandals off your feet, for the place where you stand is holy ground. Moreover, he said, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God. Well, this is probably Moses' first encounter with God since he fled to Midian. Doesn't really say, but it's been a long time. And God is like, you seem to have forgotten about me. I had to give you this crazy sign. Come over here and honor me, because this is holy ground. I am still your God. Verses 9 and 10. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel has come to me, and I have also seen the oppression with which the Egyptians oppressed them. Come now, therefore, and I will send you to Pharaoh, that you may bring my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. The Lord is talking to Moses. He's like, take my people, your people, the Israelites, out of Egypt, because they're being oppressed. It's going to be you who takes them out. You're going to save them. Verse 11. But Moses said to God, Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh, and that I should bring the children of Israel out of Egypt? So Moses is like, why me? I'm just this random guy. Moses got to be thinking, I haven't talked to God in years, and now he's randomly setting a bush on fire, and randomly asking me to be a savior of some sort. That's got to be crazy for Moses. Verse 12. So he said, I will certainly be with you. God is like, don't worry, because I'll be helping you free the Israelites. We're going to do it together. Verses 13 and 14. Indeed, when I come to the children of Israel and say to them, The God of your fathers has sent me to you, and they say to me, What is his name? What shall I say to them? And God said to Moses, I am who I am. And he said, Thus you shall say to the children of Israel, I am has sent me to you. God says, I am who I am. And that truly is all that matters, because God is enough. God is everything. So God is telling Moses, go tell them what our plan is and how you're going to save them. But Moses is still wondering how it's going to work. He's like, what if they don't listen? What if things go wrong? But God is saying, trust me, they will come. Not only will I make sure that it works, but I will make sure that you guys are successful. Verses 20 and 21. So I will stretch out my hand and strike Egypt with all my wonders, which I will do in its midst. And after that he will let you go. And I will give this people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. And it shall be, when you go, that you shall not go empty-handed. They're being taken out of slavery, and God is not leaving them with nothing. He's actually blessing them, leaving them with something to go off of. I think this is also foreshadowing the plagues. So I would say that the main idea for this chapter is, again, an idea of protection. God will protect you even at your lowest point. God has a plan for you. And even if you have been distant from God, God has not been distant from you, because God is with us and he's in all of us too. If you steer away from God, God will find his way back to you, and he will make himself present. What you have to do is your share, because God could easily snap his fingers and have the Israelites out of slavery, out of Egypt, but God needs us to do our part too. And us doing our part is what gets us to heaven, what gets us to be a better person. So trust in God's plan and fulfill God's plan. That's all I have. Thank you for watching.